Welcome to Still Kicking with Billy Hauer and another day of resisting global fascism and global corporatism, if you'd like to call it that, and resisting those freedom-hating people in Silicon Valley. It is May 30th, 2017, and I am your host, Billy Hauer, and I am still kicking. For another week anyway. Well, it seems that Democrats, Republicans, and the media are still suffering from a mass and massive superiority complex that grows more massive and superior and complex by the day. Perhaps it's easier to feel superior when you don't believe in God, because he would be the superior being, wouldn't he? Well, some people feel superior because they do believe in God, and I see that. I understand that. There's always a reason to feel superior, and superiority really is the foundation of everything that's bad. It's the foundation of racism. It's the foundation of homophobia. It's the foundation of Islamophobia. It's the foundation of sexism. It's the foundation of racism, everything that's bad, because you have to feel better than that group that you're treating badly. So being superior, not a great thing. Feeling superior is a human trait, and an especially American trait. And I sense that the Chinese feel just as superior, or maybe even more superior than we do, and that's very dangerous because we fear them now. We fear their growing power. We fear their growing military. So fear, superiority, it's a terrible mix. Feeling superior is the opposite of feeling humble. Superior people feel entitled to dominate and to abuse. Only superior people sneer at others, calling them names like deplorable, racist, xenophobic, backwards, ignorant, dumb. Terms that reflective, honest, and humble people don't use. Now, why am I talking about superiority? Because it is a roadblock to peace. It prevents forgiveness, which is essential to creating peace. And today I want to talk about forgiveness and how vital it is to achieving peace on earth and in this nation. And you can't be forgiving unless you're humble. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But if we want peace between Democrats and Republicans, and between the rich and the poor, and between blacks and whites, and men and women, and gays and straights, and Israelis and Palestinians, and even globalists and nationalists, we have to find a little humility. Now, what is forgiveness? Well, and why? Let me just say why humility is so important to forgiveness. It's easy for me to forgive somebody who has wronged me if I realize that I have committed that same wrong maybe with somebody else, or have shown that same lack of character that I'm mad at that person for showing, because all of us in a moment of fatigue or hunger or just exasperation have said and done things we wish we could take back. So that's why I think humility is important for forgiveness. Forgiveness is the opposite of revenge. Revenge is a very natural human instinct. It's a very easy thing to do. There's a very thin line between revenge and justice, and most of what we call justice is really simply revenge. And forgiveness is a less natural and rarer thing, and it's certainly more difficult than revenge. Both take effort, but forgiveness probably takes a little more. But only at first. Because once you have forgiven somebody, everything else becomes easier. And I know this from personal experience. And on 9/11, our Christian nation wasted an opportunity to be Christians, to forgive, as our Lord implored us to always do, forgive. We did not forgive the Saudis who destroyed the World Trade Towers. Of course, we kind of shifted the blame to the Afghanis, even though all those attackers, except for 2, I think, were Saudis. Anyway, perhaps we lack the national humility to resist casting the first stone and then the second stone. And now the many stones of our endless drone strikes and manned airstrikes. After 9/11, America chose revenge. And how's that working out? Well, we've gone from Al-Qaeda to Islamic State. And now they hold more territory than the whole United Kingdom. Now that may be a little bit less now, but I heard that not too long ago. Trillions of dollars of American taxpayers' dollars have been wasted. Thousands of U.S. lives, young, beautiful U.S. lives have been wasted. Hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of Muslim lives have been wasted. But no one's counting the Muslims, at least not us. Maybe the Muslims are. But thanks to our choice of revenge, we are a nation of unaccountable and unrepentant torturers, too. We have committed the most evil acts possible for humans to commit, and we did it on a massive global industrial scale. And we never said we were sorry, and no one was ever held accountable. Now, you could argue that revenge is killing the American soul. One only need look at our domestic politics for a snapshot of the American soul. Forgiveness requires humility. It's easier to forgive when we reflect on our own personal faults and failures. Let he pass on. Savior, Jesus Christ, said that. He was talking about a woman who was being stoned to death for adultery. And he knew, I think God knows that we're all sinners. He knows that we all fall way short of perfection, much less God's perfection. So, now with our choice of revenge, we vilify the Islamic State for being torturers. We vilified Saddam Hussein for being a torturer. Now we are torturers. The Islamic State has the death penalty. We have the death penalty. The Islamic State beheads. Our allies, Saudi Arabia, behead people. Islamic State kills civilians. We kill civilians. We have become our enemy. They destroy history. We sweep it under the rug. And of course, that's what our press does so very, very well. Revenge is fear-based. We fear the other's power. Our fears are what lead us into war. I have the windows open and it's blowing my pages around. Fear is not reflective or humble. Fear lashes out. Forgiveness takes courage. Humility requires courage too. And love is courage. Love impels people to risk their lives for others, to risk their reputation and their popularity, and to even risk ridicule. But forgiving people, much less forgiving our enemies, is not the same as trusting them. That does not mean you have to trust them. A forgiving people can support a strong defensive military. A humble and forgiving people do not call their values universal and then impose those values on others. Forgiveness, as opposed to trust, is something given, freely given. It's not earned, it's just given. Trust is earned. So don't mix the two up. Just because I forgive somebody who's wronged me doesn't mean I'm not shrewd and I trust them, because I don't. I could trust them. Once you do forgive somebody, that makes earning trust possible. Revenge, of course, never trusts anybody and doesn't even let that possibility exist. Revenge is something we want. It is a child of selfishness and greed. Forgiveness is something we give. It is the child of love. And we talked about love a couple of shows ago, and I said that love is not a cheap emotion, it's a point of view. And it's the opposite point of view of selfishness. That's what love is. Selfishness does not care, and love does. I love my producer, Pete, because I care about Pete. I care that he's happy. I care that his wife is happy, that his children are happy. I want Pete to prosper and be happy, and that's what love is. Revenge is I want to hurt Pete. I want to screw his life up. And that's what the Democrats are doing to Mr. Trump right now. They're seeking revenge because he won that election fair and square, because he gave voice to the frustration of the working class in America. And the Democrats did not give voice to it. They were too busy calling them deplorable. Now, our drone war is all about revenge. And so are our massive airstrikes that, by the way, killed a bunch of civilians just this week in not Mosul, some other little town that Islamic State controls. And I think we killed 40, 50 civilians, or maybe it was 40, 50 children. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's just, they don't linger on these stories, so, and it's very unusual when they report it. They have this drone revenge and these airstrike revenges have only made things worse. Of course, unless you're a missile manufacturer or a bomb manufacturer, then things are great. Our nation may never choose humility and forgiveness, but we can, and you can. Forgiveness has transformed my life. It has brought peace and prosperity. If you don't have forgiveness in your heart, you can't even enjoy the prosperity you have already. And that's pretty much what it did for me. By forgiving the people who have wronged me, and they have wronged me. It wasn't that I realized, they didn't really do anything that wrong. Oh, they did. They did wrong things. They bore false witness. They stole from me. They tried to keep me from my own mother. But I do forgive them because I'm not perfect, and what a horrible place they must have been in to do all those things psychologically, a bad psychological place. So it has changed my life, and it has given me peace of mind. And the best reason to forgive is not for the sake of the person you're forgiving, it's for yourself. Because carrying around resentment and the need to hurt somebody, it only makes your life toxic. It only makes it impossible for you to enjoy your own home and your own pets and your own friends. And it lets me use my energy, and it will let you use your energy for more creative purposes instead of resentment and revenge. And I am achieving quite a bit these days because I'm not wasting my energy resenting anybody. Now, if we don't approve of other people's values, perhaps we should stop enriching them with free trade. And I know that's a kind of a non sequitur, but I was just thinking that, we don't approve of all these other countries, yet we trade with them. It just doesn't make any sense. We want China to respect human rights, and yet we give them most favored nation trading status, which to me takes all our power away. We could have been trading with them and said, hey, you want to trade in this industry? Well, maybe if you let your people have due process before they're thrown in jail or executed and their organs harvested for the elites. So I'm just thinking, there's a lot of ways to try to get people to be nicer without shooting them with drones and dropping massive bombs on them. And anyway, economic sanctions sure beat war. To give peace a chance, we must give forgiveness a chance. And it is scary. But I recently forgave a friend of mine. He doesn't even know I forgave him. But the way I forgave him was that I went and apologized to him. I apologized to him for what I thought I had done wrong. But I didn't bring up anything that he had done wrong, and he never apologized for the things that I think he did wrong. I just forgave him. I let it go. It just doesn't matter. Will our friendship ever be the same? I doubt it. But we are friends again, and we do see each other, and there is that chance to earn that trust back, and we just may do it. But there would have been no chance if I hadn't asked for his forgiveness, and I did it very simply. I simply said, I'm sorry. and I didn't make it conditional. And that was hard. It was hard to do, but once I did it, everything was easy. Revenge is like poking an angry dog with a stick. Love, with forgiveness, tries to understand the dog's anger. It listens to the dog's grievance. It offers solutions and comfort to the dog. It loves the dog. It tries to heal the dog. Revenge has made us torturers. And torture is what is evil, not Americans. Islamic extremism is evil, not Islamic people. As a gay man, I would not be safe in any Islamic country. They were caning people in Indonesia, a young gay couple, just last week in Indonesia. I do not want to go to Indonesia. And they're probably the most advanced Muslim nation. But I wouldn't be caught dead in there. But I don't hate the Indonesians, and I forgive them for caning my gay brothers. And I think of them as my brothers because we all suffer the same oppression and the same disdain. But I don't hate them for what they've done to those guys. I forgive them. But I don't trust the Indonesians, and I certainly won't be poking them with a stick. Let's tend our own gardens and forgive the other gardeners. Thank you for watching Still Kicking with Billy Hauer. We'll be back next week if I'm still kicking. Be free, live up, and love everyone, even your enemies. Be the peacemaker. Forgive me. Forgive yourself. Let the love flow. Let the love grow. Plant the seed of forgiveness.